Hey everyone, welcome back to Megaverse Builds. Today we are back at Spotify Camp Nou, and this update has some real surprises. The compression ring is moving faster than even our own predictions, and louver installation is picking up pace across multiple corners of the stadium. Before we start, an update on last week's news. The family of the worker who passed away has been trying to get more information about what happened, and our thoughts remain with them during a very difficult time. Now, let's take a look at today's progress. We start at the North Gold Tribuna corner, where crews are tightening bolts on the already installed louvers to make sure everything is properly secured. Painting work on the steel beams here is now finished on both sides, and one previously missing louver support bracket has finally been installed. A piece we'd been watching for since the surrounding brackets weren't fully complete. One more bracket is still needed on the opposite side before the anchor bolts and full louver run can follow, though a support piston nearby may need additional work first. Protective netting is up along this stretch too. Assign crews are actively working the piping beneath the cantilever, and that pipe run itself is now well advanced, extending most of the way toward the tower crane's position. The mobility core in this corner is fully painted and appears staged and ready for sandwich panels, though no panels have gone in on this structure yet. Before we move on, please like the video and subscribe for more updates, because Tribuna is where today's biggest story is unfolding. The compression ring has advanced dramatically here. 3 radial beams are now prepared and staged, each paired with its own pillar, setting up a long stretch of the ring, ready to simply receive one phalange box after another. This puts the ring well ahead of the pace predicted just weeks ago, when a late July arrival at the tower crane's position seemed optimistic. Instead, it looks likely to beat that target, with only 3 or 4 boxes needed to connect the 2 nearest radial beams. A massive new ring component has also arrived on site, delivered alongside a radial beam via the dedicated crane serving this zone. On the nearby diamond structure, a new glass support bracket has been installed on the lateral face, still awaiting final positioning at the top, while equipment continues moving pallets and materials through the area. Sandwich panel installation on the rear mobility core here remains paused, with no new panels added in some time. Inside the stadium, the pitch installation is moving fast. Turf sections are being sewn together in real time, with crews already past the halfway mark just 2 days after the first truck of grass arrived. The hybrid surface combines natural grass with an artificial base layer underneath, and the height difference between the two is expected to smooth out once the pitch receives its final cut. Around the bowl, the transformation is just as striking. The first and second tiers are now fully enclosed, while the third tier continues climbing behind them. Floodlights are already mounted and visible from pitch level, and LED screens have been relocated slightly further back along the sideline. Along the perimeter, a dividing barrier is going up between the second tier and the VIP ring, marking out the boundary for individual private boxes, still being framed out with drywall partitioning inside. In the VIP ring itself, glass curtain wall installation is well underway, with door frames already mounted into several completed sections, and acoustic paneling going in behind the glass for soundproofing. The compression ring has now reached Tribuna from the North Goal side, with heavy crew activity visible working through the remaining connection points and sealing gaps between precast sections using expanding foam or resin. Down in the lower concourse, the epoxy flooring treatment is finished and looking sharp, with the access tunnels for away supporters clearly taking shape. Sandwich panels continue going up across the mobility core fronts, and mortar rendering is progressing on the VIP ring walls, guided by vertical leveling strips that help crews keep the surface smooth and even throughout. Down at South Goal, sandwich panels now cover the entire front face of the mobility core, reaching all the way to the first cantilever. Side panels are going in next, with only a handful remaining along the lower edge before that face is complete too. The vacuum lift crane used for these panels was idle at the moment of filming, but with operators visible nearby, the remaining side sections are expected to wrap up shortly. Painting work continues inside the mobility cores here as well, with several workers visible on the scaffolding finishing black-painted sections. Vertical connector pieces between louver supports are still needed along the upper band in this sector before anchor bolts and louvers themselves can follow. That installation likely won't begin until the connector work catches up to what's already done lower down. In the lateral sector, waterproofing testing has been carried out successfully on one section, with pooled water confirming the seal is holding, while the surrounding area remains covered in formwork. The diamond structure here shows rebar work well advanced across its upper section, with several workers finishing that stage ahead of a possible concrete pour as soon as next week. Nearby, the mobility core's louver anchor alignment is nearly finished, with painting complete and only minor touch-ups remaining. A substantial supply of louvers has already been delivered to this zone, suggesting installation could begin within days, possibly even this week. 2 of the 3 diamond structures worked on this summer in this sector are now fully cleared of formwork and scaffolding, exposing their finished concrete shapes, with the 3rd also approaching its own pour soon. A support piece has also been added at the edge of one section here, with concrete being mixed on-site to secure it in place. At North Gold's middle section, activity has picked up after a quieter stretch, with a crane seen lifting a pallet and an elevated platform working nearby. This area still lacks the overhead lighting fixtures already installed at the lateral louver sections, and a broader gap in louver coverage remains here compared to other zones. Crews are pushing forward with louver installation across the mobility cores, with a new panel just lifted and locked into place. Progress is steady but not rapid. Only a handful have gone up since earlier this week, and some odd gaps remain in the lower rows, likely for reasons not yet clear from ground level. A concrete pump has appeared on the second cantilever too, a rare sight these days as most pours in this area are already finished. One nice detail, the louvers grow progressively longer moving across this stretch before tapering again, a subtle design touch worth noticing. And that wraps up today's tour around Spotify Camp Nou, from the pitch coming together stitch by stitch, to the compression ring finally linking up at Tribuna, and every enclosed tier in between. This stadium is closing in on matchday readiness faster than ever. If today's update got you as excited as it got us, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.